Hi there, my name is Laya Rems. I am a mother to a young adult and a teenager. I remember one Saturday morning, I was just doing a routine check of my breast and I came across a lump. And immediately on Monday, following Monday, I called my GP to book an appointment. So I went to see the GP, she examined me and stuff, and then booked me to see a specialist at North Manchester Hospital. So I think a couple of days before my appointment, my nipple started to bleed. And so I called the doctor again that, hey, what's going on? She told me to come in and see her. And when I went in, the look on her face, I remember now, said a lot. And she said, anyway, there's not much we can do, just use cotton wool and wait till you go see your the specialist. So going to see the specialist, I had a series of tests. I had a swab taken, I had biopsies, I had a series of tests taken, and I waited. It was a long day that day, and I waited, and the consultant called me in and told me, you have breast cancer. He said DCIS, breast cancer. I was like, whoa. And I screamed right away and I started to cry. I was like, what's going on? And then I think within like less than 1 minute, I said, okay, what's the next step? What do we need to do, please? How far has this gone? Asking just the normal general questions. And then they told me, oh, it was just going to be a surgery. But first, before they did that, they need to know how far it has gone within my breast. And so what they said is they really described it, that take an orange and try and split it into three pieces of that four was infected. So they had to take the whole breast tissue out and form another one. And so it was a huge process. It was long, over 12 hours surgery. Anyway, I got discharged, went home with tubes. I was looking like an alien, basically. So tubes from my breast, tubes from my back to drain the fluid and stuff. And I had that on possibly for a few weeks. And the nurses will come to check it to see how far it's going. And so it was pretty challenging, but it was an experience. But I'm grateful that I was able to go through that and learn and to be able to share my story to help other people. Now I know the importance of looking after yourself. Health is wealth, like literally. Having a good health is wealth. That's all the wealth you need, to be honest. I know now that I need to look after myself. I know now that I need to watch what I'm eating. I know now that I need to keep my body away from stress. I think everybody's body is different. Everybody's body reacts to things differently. Stress sometimes can pull me down, make me ill. So I know that anything that is going to cause me stress, I don't want to be a part of it. So I can physically remove myself from any stressful situation. So that I know now. And I also eating habits, eating more vegetables, eating more healthier meals. Although before I didn't used to eat unhealthy meals, but now I actually enjoy cooking my meal in healthy ways. And also exercising, looking after myself, going for walks, using the gym, drinking loads of water. I love water. Water is just amazing. So yeah, I do all of that now more than I used to in the past. Obviously, I'm a Christian, so it's an attack from the devil one way or another. But also, you might have also aided that by not looking after yourself. And obviously, people grew up differently. So people's understanding also of what cancer is matters a lot. If people don't know what cancer is all about, they've not done research of what cancer is all about, is information. If they have limited information, based on that, they will come to a conclusion that somebody is attacking them from their village, somebody is attacking them because they hate them, or the devil just wants to kill them. And rather than take ownership and really educate themselves and say, hold on, what's this about? And how can I prevent it from happening to me? The main reason why I'm sharing this video is to educate people, to raise awareness, and to let people let people know one thing. Do not be afraid of knowing, but rather be afraid of not knowing. I've always said that. Don't be afraid of knowing what it is, because in knowing what it is, you know you can get treatment, you know the next step. In not knowing what it is, basically you're oblivious, you're keeping everything, you're pretending like it doesn't exist. You actually don't know if you're putting yourself in a death sentence. You don't even know what's going to happen. So it's better to know. So I want people to be aware of their body. Anything that looks abnormal, anything that does not look like your normal self, check it out. Anything that feels uncomfortable in your body, check it out. Even if it's a lump, if it's an orange-like peel, or if it's bleeding, discharge, whatever, or if you're just losing weight just drastically. Anything that takes you away from your normal self, that makes you look or feel abnormal, please, please check it out. Like I said, it's better to know than not to know. So back then for me, it was a struggle to find any charities. I was looking for Christian charities. I was looking for charities that Black people run, because I thought they would better understand, they'll be able to support me. It was very difficult for me. I couldn't find any. The only charity I know supported me then, back then financially, was Macmillan. And they gave me X amount of money, you know, just to buy things for myself, buy new clothes, to basically keep me happy. Because, you know, having cancer, it can be quite stressful. It can be quite depressing for people. So yeah, that was the only support I got, and I was very thankful for that back then. But now I know there are a lot of Black organizations who support Black people with cancer, or educate people as well. And I believe the church also raises this awareness now. So we're all more now inclined to do, you know, more with supporting our community.
Were there any signs that I ignored? Yes, there were. I came from a broken relationship, and I don't think I gave myself enough time. So I went straight into this relationship. I was introduced to my ex-partner, and the signs now looking back, like he was very aggressive, very controlling, lied a lot, manipulated every situation to favor him. And like I said, the key thing was very controlling. What is it like to be in a violent relationship? I personally went through hell and back. So from beating, kicking, my head on the wall, my children witnessed it. There was no boundaries of, oh, let's do it when the kids are not there. So it was, even my nanny suffered it. My nanny got slapped twice. Like I said, you know, I nearly had a glass of cop hit on my head. So, you know, it was painful, but I said I took it and just stayed in it, but it's very depressing. Victims stay in the relationship. Like, I stayed in there because of my culture and because of my religion. I didn't want to be a failure again. So I stayed there because of, I didn't want, what are people going to say? What are my community going to say? And I didn't want to be a failure again. I didn't want to, and you lose your self-worth. You lose the value as a woman. You feel that you can't get anything better. So that's why they stay, and that's why I stayed in there. But, you know, there is help out there. You know, you can get help out there. But I went to a different place. I went to pastors, men of God, that would say, give me money and pray for me, and it would work. That's where I went to. But now what I'm saying to the world is there's help in the community than going to pastors. I'm sharing my story because I don't want another woman to go through what I went through. I nearly took my life. It was very depressing. It was a very emotional period for me and my children. And I feel that if I help another woman, I could be saving a life. I was strong enough not to kill myself, but what if another woman does? So this is to help other women to say that you need to be strong. You don't have to stay in an abusive relationship. Forget what people are going to say. Forget what the community is going to say, and seek help. There is help out there. GPs are out there. Go to a GP. They'll signpost you. Speak to friends that you can trust. Because another thing about speaking out is you have to choose the people you speak to. Because I'm a very open person. I speak to quite a lot of people. But instead of it to make it easier, they were making it worse, because they'll spread it and they'll speak to other people and mock me and say she talks too much. Why is she telling us all this? But I needed to speak out, and I think the speaking helped. So for me, I'm saying this to every black woman or black men that are going through domestic violence or any emotional trauma in their marriage. Please do not stay in there. It affected my health. I developed blood pressure type 2. I developed panic attacks. I would cry day and night. So it affects you, it affects your children. So please do seek help. There is help out there.
My name is Comfort. I'm based in Manchester. I work with Sky and I'm also studying to be a counsellor. I had been struggling with really low moods, irritability, struggling just to even get out of bed to do anything for myself before I went to the GP, and then I was diagnosed with major depression. A lot of people around me didn't fully understand what I was going through. I think they just assumed that it was just feeling really sad, but it was a lot more than that. It was difficult having the conversations. Some people felt like I wasn't trying hard enough. Maybe if I go for a walk, everything will be better. If I prayed hard enough, everything will be better. So there was a lot of difficulty in understanding the gravity of what I was experiencing. I was on medication, 2 different types of medication. I also was trying therapy at the same time, because the best combination is medication and therapy, which I was advised by my GP. I was also going for walks, meditating, just doing things that will make my day feel a little bit brighter. So yeah, meditating, walking alongside my medication and therapy. So there is therapy and counsellors available, but there's not a lot of counsellors who look like me, so which gave me a bit of anxiety about whether they're going to be culturally sensitive to maybe some of the things that I brought forward. There's also the fear, because of the community that we live in, that you're not sure whether your story is going to go around, and the stigma that comes along with that is something that I was trying to avoid. So it took me a little longer to, access what is already available. I'm sharing my story because I want people to know that help is available. I want people to be able to reach out and access all that is available within our community. There are culturally sensitive counsellors, and there is a community willing to stand with you and help you through the process. I know how much I have benefited from the help I have received.